We are back. Felicia, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We are back together. It's been a long time. I miss you. You're looking good. Let's get
Thank
into it
you.
and let's have some conversation because we got a lot to talk about. Sports and debate. Felicia and Eddrick, here we go. What's up?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you missed it, huh?
Love it.
We
What's up? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, happy everything. It's like it's been a minute. It's been a
Everything.
minute. The world changed since the last time we November 1st. I think
Mm,
November 1st was the last show we did, and,
we start rocking.
it's a little different now. World's a little different, spinning on the different direction right now, but that's cool. That's cool. We're gonna straighten it out. We're gonna straighten it
Yeah,
out.
it's changed. I'm still going through boxes in my new place. I love it. I was able
Congratulations.
to, well, I got to give a shout out to my big sister, Christy, who is the unpacking and packing queen. So most of this I put together, but everything, if you could see around it, it's a mess. And she helped me out getting my guest bedroom together. My guest bedroom slash podcasting room. So
There you go.
thank you,
There you
Christy,
go.
as always, looking out for her baby sister. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving the views. I'm loving to look at the water and the
Good
girls,
for
the
you.
dogs like it. So I'm happy. I just missed my bird.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. So Bird is
Remember Mango kicked
yeah.
the other place. Mango said,
Right.
I'm out of here. Moving too much. I'm
You
out of
know
here.
that's a Martin episode. That's a Martin episode somewhere.
You already know. Women and the way Christy came up to me, like I came in from a doctor's appointment and she's walking towards me. I got something to tell you. The bird died.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what? And I looked over, she said, yeah, I looked over and he was on his side. And I'm like, Mango.
Wow.
Mango
How
was,
old was Mego?
he didn't live as long as Patience. Patience lived 23 years. Mango was about, he was 5 when I got him. I think I had him 4 years. So he's about 9. But
Wow.
but cockatiels live a long time.
Hmm.
I mean, of course, if Patience lived 23 years,
23 years. That is a long time.
yeah, they do. They live a long time. But
Huh.
I'm still debating getting another one. My cousin was like, "What? Don't do that." But I love animals.
Yeah, you are an animal
Animals,
person. You are. You dogs,
and
cats. Yeah.
I
Have you
and
had cats?
Nick
Let me
likes
back up.
cats, and I
Have you
love,
had Okay.
yeah, and I love them. I like. I'm sensitive to, like, now when I see them dead in the road, I'm like, oh no. Before I'd be like, good. but but I'm telling you, your life changes when you become a dog parent.
See,
This
we've
one
never
over here
been
follow me everywhere. The
we've
other
never
one's
been
just
pet
little.
people.
Yeah. The other one is like, I'm doing my thing, but this bigger one, she follows me. Like I have a shadow. She's
Wow.
my spotlight. Yeah, she's like following me everywhere. But we're really, I never understood when people say, "Oh, my dog sleeps at the foot of my bed," and I would laugh at people. It's just like you can't say, if you're not haven't been a parent, or if you.
Right.
Well, I have a lot to say about people who are parents, but you
Yeah.
just don't know
Yeah.
until. Well, I learned when I raised one, half raised one. I definitely understood that part, but yeah,
We
you
live and
just don't
learn.
know until you,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. We've never been pet people. Uh I had a dog. Well, let's see. We had a dog when my oldest, when she was like 2, we had a dog. And it was a backyard dog, right? So, but she kept
So
getting out. I think she had hands because she would unlock. I don't know how the dog would get out. She'd be on my cousin's house. My cousin lived a couple blocks away. She would escape out of our house and go over to my cousin's house, and she would call up, Ricky, your dog's here. So
you see how smart she was, though.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, but
Why did dogs back in the day do that though? We could never keep a dog either, and it would run away. And then my dad would take. I think he took Major and drove him up to the hills and let him go. Dad,
and
when
he
I
beat you
see
home.
people dump their dogs today, I'm in darn near in tears. I'm like, how could somebody dump their dog? My daddy would go up there and dump the dog.
Man, the dog didn't like beat you home.
Right. Like a cartoon, exactly.
Yeah. Where y'all been? What took y'all so long to get home?
My little
Yeah,
fellas
they're
would be,
smart.
hello, Mr. Purcell. We've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you.
Man, man. Well, first of all, again, let me congratulate you for holding it down, going to the Warriors games. I think I texted you the other day, or I sent you a message. I think you got it, where I saw the questions you've been asking in the press conferences. You've been doing your thing,
Yeah.
and so yeah. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the Warriors. You're close to them now. You've been covering the games. You've been in the building. You've seen the Jimmy effect. What's your take on them, where they are right now, and how they're looking right now? You know, being tied 1-1 with Houston.
Well, the Jimmy effect. Let me say that the last home game was the first time I've ever seen Jimmy. I don't know why we haven't had him in a press conference, or he's made himself available.
Because usually in the locker room, huh? That's a good point. When you see him interviewed, he's usually in the locker room. I haven't seen him at the table.
He's usually in the locker room. So imagine my surprise when I'm standing in the presser and I look to my left and I go and I look back at Dave and I'm trying to wave Dave down like, look, look, look. It's like a unicorn. He doesn't come out pregame to shoot, so you're not connected with him that way. I hadn't seen the man. This was the first time I'd seen him in the same space. And then since COVID, only the beat writers are allowed to go in the locker room. I'm not a beat
Mm.
writer. So when someone is at the press conference, and as you know, they leave, and then we have to wait for the next person. Well, when they leave, guess who gets to go behind them? The beat writers. So then they're talking to Jimmy. And then they're coming back, and we're sitting there like, they're not going to share anything with us.
Right.
So that's a little hard because you can't build a relationship with them. I definitely want to get out to more practices, but that got lost in translation. So I'm going to have to revisit that again because I'm not, that I hadn't been getting the schedules for practice.
Mm.
But, relationship great as always. The PR department is one of the best in the league. And as far as them being tied 1-1, I mean, how could you even? I wouldn't even doubt Ime Iboka. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Udoka. He is a good coach, and he's got those young boys playing bully ball, and they're scrappy and they're physical. Everybody's bigger than us, and I'm not surprised it's tied 1-1. I'm not surprised. I really think we would have been up 2-0 had playoff Jimmy not gotten hurt.
I
I think it
agree.
kind of took the cell out of the wind out of their cells when he did go down. So I think it's a good series. It's always been a good series, even when James Harden and Chris Paul were playing for Houston. It's always been a good matchup with the Warriors. So I'm excited about tomorrow and whether or not Jimmy is going to play with this has like a glute contusion.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. The latest from an hour ago, per CBS Sports, Steve
Mm,
Kerr lists him as relatively optimistic. So MRI
mm,
was negative, just has a pelvic contusion, just a pelvic contusion, right? Um, deep glute muscle contusion, and I don't. doesn't say if he practiced, but he said there's a chance he'll be available for game 3. So, because they need him, they definitely need him, and in
Woo!
a roundabout way, what I
What
want to
you
know is this
say?
is going to be interesting is what kind of reaction if he has to play Kaminga tomorrow night at home.
Come on, come on.
What is that gonna
A
be like
Leo
for the
brother.
crowd?
Exactly. Exactly. Because it's like Kaminga been on time out. Go stand in the corner.
Ice.
And
How
it's
does that
so
happen?
painful
It
watching
is.
that. Like, what he do? I mean, y'all ain't play him at all.
And it's to me, it was just shocking because I've never seen a guy who before the trade, even though they weren't winning per se, right? They weren't winning a lot. Early in the season, they started out red hot and then they just, had a terrible run. But
Yeah.
he was playing okay, at least
Yes.
from my eyes. Now I'm not at practice, like you say. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Steve Kerr made a point of saying that the ball stuck and didn't move when he's on the floor, and he and Jimmy aren't quite playing together.
Mhm.
I don't know whatever, but it just seems that a young man with that much talent, regardless, he's gotta get some play. He has to play.
Right.
Uh,
Rusty. He'd be rusty, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Quick question.
Uh huh.
Are we streaming on YouTube?
Yes, we should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just forgot to ask you that.
Yeah, we should be on YouTube now. We should be on our Sports in the Bay Facebook page and on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
Yep. 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 In the shout, yeah, because Christy, hey Christy. So it looks like
Wait.
she's watching on YouTube. There's a little
What?
symbol. So
I can't see her.
so we are
Usually
there.
I'll see Christy say something. Say
Yeah, she just
something. Uh,
she just sent a chat, said so excited and welcome. And Christy, I'm sorry I won't have a word this week.
Oh, I'm on
We
private chat.
we
Okay,
just
go ahead.
getting back into it. We just getting back into it, Christy. So I'll have the word for you because I know you like the word of the week. So we'll be getting back to that in the song. But we gotta
We're gonna do boots
ramp. We
on the
gotta ramp
ground.
back up. Yeah.
And I'm fans that.
Exactly. Exactly. But
Yeah.
but yeah, Warriors. So you'll be there tomorrow night in the building, right?
I'll be in the building.
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah. What's your
Gangona and I will
expectation?
be in the building.
What's up, Dave? Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave, your partner in crime as
Oh,
well.
I'm like, where? Yeah, Dave. I talked to him earlier. I don't like to make. Mm, I think that with the home, they gotta make them. They have to make them play small ball. They gotta make them play their game. With the home team behind them, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And Steph is due for another. He's due for another breakout game. He didn't not so much last time, but like he did the first game, we need Steph to do one of these tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna come out. You know how he does. He just ramps it up, and his level of excellence. I think we just take it for granted. Just really how good this brother is. I mean, historically, I think because we've seen that level of excellence. And my theory. I always say he's the only player in the history of the NBA that's brought globetrotter like skills to the NBA in a in a regular season type of NBA formal game structure because
The
he
only
plays
one.
like a globetrotter. He's an entertainer. He's shimmying. He's dancing. He just don't have a bucket of confetti, but he could if he wanted to.
What the clown knows.
I don't know. You imagine he shoots a three, turns and starts running down, picks up a bucket and throws it in the crowd before the ball
Oh
goes in.
yeah, like the Globetrotters. Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Like Goose. What's
Yeah.
his
But you
name?
see the
Goose.
shots. You see the shots he makes though. The you've seen him in warm up. I'm sure that.
He made one, Edric, the last home game was at Memphis. And as a member of the media, you can't be a fan, okay? You can't be up there. But all I could do was just lift my hands. Like, did you see that? He it was way up, but I mean the velocity of that shot. And I'm like, then he's falling out of bounds.
Yeah.
Those seem like his best shots when he's falling. Actually, my favorite shot is 2015 in Houston when his father and brother were watching him and he was falling out of bounds and he just did that rainbow, bam,
Swish.
at three. That
Yeah.
man is,
Yeah. He's a globetrotter. Let's call it what it is. He is a Harlem
yeah,
globetrotter
just
in
give him
spirit.
his he got the same colors, right? The
Red, white, and
Globetrotters,
blue.
the only thing
Close.
is the red.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
missing
I
the
can see him.
red.
I can see him rocking the
Take
globetrotter
the yellow
and
out with the red.
because and shout out to the history of the Globetrotters because those guys were great. They weren't chopped liver out there. They're not. There's some talented, some of the best. But I'm kind of joking.
Very
But the
much so.
reality is, nobody has shot the ball or shoots like him, and the shots and where he shoots from. And the only place I've seen it is with the Globetrotters. I've seen the Globetrotters do stuff like that. I haven't seen anybody in the NBA ever do that. And in the course of a
Circus
game.
shots, especially that one that
Yep.
when he does that one, and I see Pajitsky try to do it, and I'm screaming at the TV, "You're not Steph! Stop! Stop!" He tried to do it a couple of times. I'm like, "Stop it, cat! Stop it!"
Yeah. 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 And people sleep on the Warriors. To me, they sleep on the Warriors experience because say what you will about Kuminga and Moody. I mean, they've got rings. Kevon Looney has 3. GP2 has 1. So you go up and down that roster. Um,
Mhm,
that experience is probably going to prepare them really well for tomorrow night's game. And I don't know if
mhm,
Houston, without having that type
mhm.
of experience, I'm just not, other than Steven Adams, maybe, I'm just not sure if they're going to be ready for the
Exactly,
emotion at Chase. You know,
because they've been facing Steven Adams for years. OKC, Memphis, he's the only one though. You're right, because they don't have the experience.
no,
They're
no.
young.
And
Oh boy, that OKC team, Lord, Lord,
did you see them last night?
where they came back on Memphis last night. Ooh wee, ooh wee,
They strong.
they're a problem. They remind me of the Warriors, the 2015 Warriors. They really do. Just how they're
Yeah.
together, how they all stand around and do the post game.
Yep.
There's never just one person standing there getting all the glory. They're
Yeah.
brothers, and it looks like they're brothers on and off the court, and that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the Warriors,
That
they
matters.
will lock you up on the defensive end. I mean, you just can't score against them sometimes.
Yeah,
The run they went on in that second half last night was just amazing. The way they just came back. And I know Ja went out, but still, that's still an NBA team, and they just
and
walked them down.
shout out to Scottie Pippen Jr. too for stepping up, but too late. I mean, I'm not too late. It was just with no jaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they snatched their heart, and so
Ooh.
that's you could probably wrap that series up,
Oh,
tomorrow,
that's
whenever next
true.
time they play. Yeah. Yep.
Sweet. Feel
Exactly.
like I'm digging. Sweet, sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Um, what do you think about Draymond not getting defensive player of the year? Went to the brother
you
from Cleveland. I'm blanking on his name, but
uh
yeah.
you know what? I said to you off camera how I've been running all afternoon, and I presumed that he didn't get it when I got on and saw that he got a consolation award for
Mhm.
the Hustle Award. I'm like, uh, I think I think they gave it to the young man because he's a young man and Draymond has won it before.
Yeah.
But but Draymond was deserving of that,
Yeah,
especially at
he's a balling. Yeah.
yes, especially at his age. I would think that they would consider that. But whoever's doing the voting, I'll try to find out some inside scoop.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
I,
I'm definitely interested in his reaction to it. On the, I mean, because publicly, of course, I haven't seen a quote from him. But I imagine he, Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen any quotes from him. I don't think he would come out and go, "I deserve it," and that guy didn't. Yeah, I don't think he would do that. He's a
No,
professional. He's
no.
professional, right? He's a good dude in terms of giving props, but
Yeah,
inside,
yeah.
because he
No,
was
he wouldn't.
he was openly campaigning. You know, I mean, he was literally campaigning
Mhm.
for it and didn't get it. So I don't know.
I thought he was a shoo-in for it.
Yeah, yeah, and the way he's been playing, even in this
I
playoff
did.
series, you know.
Mhm. You just never know with how I wonder if they judged it even on the last games that they had.
Mm,
I wonder if that changed some minds or
mm.
anything. I don't think Draymond had a bad game last game, but Cleveland's looking good though. They're looking good.
Yeah, yeah, Cleveland's looking good, and there's some good series. The Clippers in Denver, that's a good series.
A
That
very
one's been
good
pretty
six.
pretty hard
Clippers are
hitting.
strong.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's wide open. OKC, yeah, they're probably playing the best in the league, of
They're
course.
pro.
Regular season,
Mhm.
and I think as a young team coming back and winning the way they did last night is only going to make them better. Because now they're down 15. Okay, so we got this. I mean, now they know we're in
What a
every game.
confidence. What a confidence
Exactly.
boost.
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
coaching,
So
he coaching his butt off there, coach.
yeah. Yeah. Doing his thing. So yeah, some good ones. But yeah, the Warriors tomorrow night at home against Houston. Should be a good game.
Tip off.
Yep, tip off at 5:30. ABC, I believe. Probably yeah, weekend, so it's probably gonna be ABC.
Oh, I'm
Um
sure it's ABC. Yeah, on a
yep,
Saturday,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
Before we
I'm
move
sure it's
on, I'm liking that All-Star 2025 banner you have back there. Shout out to your acquisitions. I'm feeling that. I like
Let
that.
me tell you about that. I love how you say that. Let me tell you about the acquisition. My good Irish sister Janie McCauley and I, she covered. We were at the HBCU game during All-Star weekend. So that Saturday, we were after dancing with everybody, and I mean, it was a big old party in that place. Man, I tell you, if you've never been to an HBCU game, it's like a family reunion on 10.
Hmm.
They were dancing. We were trying to keep it cool, but then I was like, I had a chance to do that sway thing that they
Oh yeah.
do. They start going real fast. Yeah, it was fun. So, and they even did the wave. I haven't done the wave in probably 30 years. But we were leaving out, and I tease Janie a lot and call her bag lady because she's always getting something. Oh, do you want that? Do you want that sandwich? I'm gonna get that. Like she's not gonna say a hoarder, but she likes to accumulate things.
There we
So
go.
she
Okay.
saw the sign in the hallway. Oh, let me show you the back of it though. And she grabbed, I forgot which one she grabbed, but then I snatched that one. But she didn't see the back of this one. And she had been trying to get me to give it to her, and I won't do it.
Let's say
It
Shaq.
says Shaq's OGs. Shaq's
Oh,
OGs.
that's the team banner. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's the team he had with Steph, and let me tell you, she was trying to get that from me. I was like, no. And let me tell you, it was hell getting this in the car. And then she helped me get it in the car. And then she goes, okay, you sure you don't want to give it to me since I helped you get this in the car? Because I thought I was gonna have to drive home with the window cracked open. But she showed me how to let my seats down. And so she had it going through the trunk. But I said, nah, I keep forgetting what hers says. But it don't say what mine says. So
Man, yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
isn't
I
that
like that.
nice?
I
Yeah,
like that.
and they said we could take it, so we're just gonna toss it. And
Huh.
I said, what a nice piece of memorabilia, after what is that, 25 years of being in
Yeah.
Oakland?
Yeah, 25
And I
years. It's
get
historic.
that. And I did see something else in San Francisco, and I was like, I can't carry nothing else. I can't carry anything else. It's too much. It's too much. We were walking. She found some sandwiches, and I got a sandwich in one bag. Man, we were walking, trying to take everything. So yeah, they just throw it away. So
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I don't know if you remember when the Warriors won the championship, they had a parade down Market Street, and we
mm,
went. We were right there on the street, right in the front, and they had these lovely they were like banners, but they hung over, you have the metal stanchions that they keep people away from, the
yeah,
barriers. Well, they had these nice NBA championship. They were like banners. They flipped them over so you couldn't see the metal barrier. And
okay,
so my daughter and I, we were sitting there going, okay, so when we get up out of here, this going with us, right? So,
okay, for real.
and the parade was going along, and right towards the end, this guy, he was on the other side. He was walking by, and he just snatched it and took off. And because he snatched one here, and then there was another guy snatched another one down the way. They were snatching them before people could take them. And because I was, and I
And
probably would
you
have.
were waiting
I
for
was just gonna borrow it, right? Because it was just right there. But this dude, they were nice. So I feel you on that poster back there. I'm liking that. That's nice.
yes.
That's nice. Unique.
It was,
Unique.
thank you.
Uh okay. You wanna I'm haven't been following a lot of the NFL draft. I know what's going on. I'm still waiting to see if Shadur's been taken yet, because they took
Ooh, baby.
New York stand up. Now, there are those out there, the whispers are um the Giants would not have picked someone that looks like Shadur. Now, I don't want to go too far down that road, but you know what I mean. You give Daniel Jones money, but you don't give Saquon. Yeah,
Because
I,
there you go.
I'm just saying.
I,
It
but you didn't hear
looks
from me.
suspicious.
There are certain organizations that you know isn't going to have someone in charge of a leader of men, such as a quarterback, the Giants, or the head coach job, the Cowboys.
Yep.
The wrong complexion for
Yep.
the protection.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
just
It was
marinate on that.
strange.
Just marinate.
I could see him falling. I didn't see him falling out of the first round. From what I saw, just obviously I'm not a scout, but to me he looked like he was NFL ready. Like he could play right now with some teams, and I
He's
don't know.
better
It
than
was just
the guy they drafted.
it was
He's better
yeah, it
than
was just
Jackson.
weird. It was just weird. And now I will say this. And I think I said it on this show last year. I said part of me saw what Colorado was doing. I think they tried to feature him a little more. I think they were padding the stats a little bit with some of the passing, because just what I saw. Sometimes they were passing. You're like, well, why are they passing now? And it's okay. He's at 188 yards. So okay, there was some of that, but I think in terms of reading teams, his accuracy, from what I saw, just watching him play, he's as good as any of the quarterbacks. I think half the rosters in football, he's probably could compete with some of these guys. Pittsburgh didn't take him in the first round, and maybe they're just being cheap. Maybe they just didn't want to pay first round money for him. You
Maybe
know
they're trying to get Aaron Rodgers and don't want to.
why?
Exactly.
What is that? What is the look? And I think I
What
said this
kind
before,
of
and I'm gonna
hopes?
say it again. The last time Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl, what's the young quarterback's name in Green Bay right now? The guy that replaced him. Be
Oh,
that as it may, he was 8 years old the last time Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl.
and he won
Uh, right.
one Super Bowl. Oh, I can't
I'm gonna
think of
pull
that
up the.
kid's name.
I got to go to the Google now to take a look. Um,
Please,
it's like, yeah, he was 8 years old. Jordan Love. Jordan Love. So
thank
Aaron
you.
Rodgers, last time they won a Super Bowl, Jordan Love, the starting quarterback for his third year, I know, I think for Green Bay, was 8 years old.
Mm,
So It's been a minute, and
Mm,
I don't.
8.
Yeah, he was 8 the last time when Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. So I don't understand the fascination. But like I said, if I'm Pittsburgh, maybe I can get him in this round. Like I said, I'm trying to refresh to see if he's gone yet because I know the second round is happening right now. Uh oh, he did not get selected in the second round. Wow.
Wait, wait, wait. Wait, wait, wait. Wait, wait.
It's
Wait,
gone
wait.
through 2 rounds and he is still has not been selected. Wow, the Saints passed, the Raiders passed, Browns passed. The Saints took a quarterback, Tyler Show from Louisville. Okay.
E,
Wow.
E,
Wow. He did not
E.
get drafted in the second round.
He gonna get drafted with his brother.
Yeah.
His brother was like, "Look, I know I ain't going to Saturday." Okay,
Wow.
that's personal. That's personal.
I don't understand.
That's personal.
I don't understand. New Orleans, how do you pass? Raiders, how do you pass?
Now,
Cleveland, I know
if
they still got this.
anybody, Raiders are known for getting people that are past their prime or misfits, if you
Wow.
will. And not saying he's a
Wow.
misfit, but they love being different. What
Right.
in the entire hell?
So did Pittsburgh have a second round pick? Let me see. Maybe they didn't. Let me see. Cleveland. I'm looking here. I don't see Pittsburgh.
Oh, I gotta close my mouth.
Yeah, Pittsburgh didn't have a second round pick. So maybe, but
E.
wow. Wow. He
If
did not get picked in the second round.
anybody watching any, I don't want to be sexist and say or any fellas watching, let us know. Let
Even
us
the
know.
Jets passed. The Jets passed on him. I know they just picked up the cat from Pittsburgh, the young cat from Pittsburgh, but still.
Mm-mm,
Uh
mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
yeah, I see. That's
mm-mm,
crazy.
mm-mm.
That's
Because
crazy.
I'm gonna say this. I cringed. I cringed when I saw that thing on his neck.
Ah,
I was like, young man, young man, young man, too much, too much, too much, too much, too much cockiness, young man. Don't do it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, oh, you look
yeah.
like you made it and you haven't made it yet. Don't do that. But
Maybe
still,
I can't explain it. I'm not an NFL executive. I'm not, but I just know that a young man who played as well as he did, was he the best overall quarterback? That's arguable. I mean, who knows? But he looks like he can play football, and he did
he's
not get picked in the
he's
second
not a
round.
runner. I know they're into those that, the Lamar Jackson types these
Right.
days. And he sits in the pocket and everything, and much like Brady.
Yeah, but he's accurate. He can throw the ball.
But he's big and
Anticipation.
yeah.
Um, he just so let's see. So in the third round, third round just started, and they've already had
Oh,
just
how
one
was
pick in
his
the third round.
oh,
But the Raiders are picking 68th. Cleveland's picking 67th. So let's see if it looks like the Raiders and Pittsburgh doesn't pick until 83. So
mm, mm, mm,
yeah, yeah,
mm.
shocking,
I
shocking.
don't know what to say.
So
But let's talk about that. It do you think it could be the Dion factor because
yeah,
his father has made people turn people off by putting his sons on a pedestal, which he should. And they didn't like Dion when he played, but he backed it up. So their ways of getting back at Dion is like, we're gonna silence your son. We're gonna sit him down. He's not running nothing here. All the diamonds and
yeah. That didn't help the watches and everything. I
all
mean, it's legal.
this.
It's above board. I mean, the players can do that now. You see college players in national ads and all that. That's fine. That's
He
the
hasn't.
landscape we're in. Um, I
Well,
there's definitely some hate going on. They hating on the young man for sure. Um, but I'm just like I say, I'm looking at the who might need a quarterback. So the Giants, they don't need. They just they pick one, so they didn't take a quarterback. The Chiefs, they didn't really need a quarterback. They took a edge rusher. So Cleveland is on the clock now.
Cleveland
Cleveland
need
and the
everything.
Raiders. Cleveland and the Raiders. Now, if he falls to 68 and get, I can't see him getting past the Raiders because the Raiders need a quarterback. I mean, they need a young quarterback because they signed Geno Smith, but
And
that's a
he could groom him.
right. That's a 1 or 2 year, maybe kind of thing. But
Mhm.
I'm looking on. He might fall to the Raiders at 68, so we'll see.
So which pick are
They'll
we on now?
We're on 67. The Cleveland Browns are picking right now. So I'm on Yahoo, so I have to refresh and see.
Oh
But
yeah, let's stay on top of that. Let me see.
yeah, yeah. So Kansas City just picked, but Cleveland is up right now. Um,
So do you think because I mean Travis Hunter is a beast. You can't deny him being selected second. But
no,
do you think because people like the my dad's on probation,
a lot of it. Well, part of it is that the
yeah,
focus
poor
has
little
shifted to
downtrodden
defense.
black kid type of
There's some. I
story?
think there's some of that. There's a concerted effort to pick defensive players now. It seems like in the first rounds now, the edge rushers, the Niners took a edge, a defensive lineman. I think there's except the Raiders took a running back in the first round, which was kind of interesting because that hasn't really happened a
Right,
lot. But
right.
I think you might, and I'm gonna say it, and this could be a wild connection. Um, the Niners showed that you can pick someone last and be successful and not
That's
upset
right.
your economic structure. The I guess the rule in the league now is you need a rookie quarterback, a good playing rookie quarterback from a salary structure standpoint. And if you can get a couple championship games or get to the Super Bowl on a rookie's contract, great. Because the Niners, that's what their MO, and I think a lot of teams are counting on that now. But that catches up to you, like with the Niners. They released a whole bunch of veteran players. Brock Purdy still hasn't signed yet. Is he worth $50 million?
No,
It ain't my money, so I don't know.
no.
I think when everything's right, the young man can play some football. I mean, he's shown he's literally played in more playoff games and more Super
Mm.
Bowls than Zach Prescott. He's he had a higher quarterback rating this year, believe it or
Wow.
not. He had a higher quarterback rating in this year, and I know numbers don't always mean everything, but his quarterback rating was actually better than Patrick Mahomes last year in the regular season. Yeah, yeah. Remember, Kansas City's offense wasn't great. They was
No.
okay. Um,
Mm,
but Brock
no.
Purdy, when he had the pieces around, now when everybody started falling apart and Debo was hurt and these guys was out and Ayuk went out and McCaffrey makes him a lot better. Let's be
Mhm.
real. So I think Shiloh. I mean not Shiloh. I think Shadur. Let's see did they pick? Who they pick? No,
I was
still waiting
trying
on
to
Cleveland's
find
pick.
it.
Trying to refresh. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not. Where's the ticker?
That's
I
what I'm
won't
trying to
lie.
look for.
Yeah. Yeah, I just see as of right now, it looks like Kansas City picked, like I said, edge rusher. I haven't seen Cleveland pick, so they might be on the clock right now. But anyway, it'll pop up. But so, what do you think, though? You think Dion has that much of a negative impact on?
Absolutely. You don't even have to finish your
Yeah.
question because historically they don't they don't fit the norm of the single mom household with multiple kids, and kids had to raise themselves, and oh, he got in a little trouble in college and he lived with a different family that didn't look like his family. They love
Yeah.
stories like that. And
Yeah.
his story is just the opposite. He he was like Johnny Manziel. He grew up with opulence. Okay, he grew up with that. And what's so interesting is that this kid isn't even mouthy. He's nice, he's a little quiet, but he says a lot with his clothing and when he does that and things of that nature. But he's not like who was just mouth just going. I'm trying to think who was like that
Hmm.
when they played. He really isn't. He's pretty reserved
Yeah.
until and when he does something, does a display of opulence, that just does something to the powers that be.
Yeah.
It
Yeah. I think
just
you're
it
right.
does something. It makes them uncomfortable. It makes them want to put this boy in his place. Uh, yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
put your daddy
the Browns
in
didn't
his
take him.
place.
Oh, for sure. Cleveland did not take him. They took a tight end. So Raiders are up. Looks like the Raiders are
Is
up. So we'll
that
see.
wait? Is this the Hamlin? Is who
Yeah, they just took
Cleveland
Harold
took?
Fannin. They took Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green at number 67.
Oh, Fanning.
Uh-huh.
No, the Raiders didn't take Raiders. The New England's on the clock now.
Oh, the Raiders. Nope.
The
Raiders didn't take
Raiders
him.
took D
The
Pool.
Raiders took. Wow.
It's getting worse and worse.
So New
They took a
England,
cornerback.
yeah. I'm looking here. New England probably won't take. I don't think he would. I don't know about him and
No,
oh
they're
man,
not.
blanking on
They're
the
not
new
gonna
coach.
build. They're not gonna build around
You know what? You never know. You never know. But then
that.
Jacksonville, they don't need a quarterback. New Orleans was possibly Chicago. They don't need a quarterback. The Jets probably won't pick a quarterback. Carolina won't. San Francisco at 75.
You
And
have
then
the
Dallas
money.
is right behind
You
that.
have the money though.
Yeah, remember rookie quarterbacks now, they're slotted. They especially where he is right now, not gonna make like what a first round would make.
Oh,
Um,
my bad. My bad. Of
yeah,
course,
he's every with every pick, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars possibly league
his
lost.
money. His
Hmm.
money.
He's gonna
I
have to
don't
play into one of those fat contracts. Like Brock Purdy, same thing with Brock Purdy.
exactly.
He was
Exactly.
making less than $1 million, and he's in the NFC Championship game starting. It started in two. Um, and the
Facts.
Super Bowl, right? So
You said in who?
Dallas. Oh, I said in Dallas, they probably would. I doubt if they take a quarter. Would I don't think they would take him. Although he's
No,
a
he would have to
homeboy.
look like.
Now
He would have to
he's
look like.
from that area,
Yeah.
right? He's from that area of Texas. So
He grew up there. He would have to look like that.
yeah, yeah. Because as soon as Dak
He
throws a
would have
bad
to. He
pass,
would
it'd
have to
be
look like that.
yeah, and then New England again. So it's not looking good.
Oh, New England
Uh,
got two. They got two
yeah,
picks.
they picked up a pick from the Falcons. So the Falcons traded out of the 77th pick. Looks like and gave it to New England or
Oh,
traded it.
that's right. Yesterday.
Hmm.
Now
So
Jacksonville's on the clock now. So they took
so
a wide receiver.
New England
They New England took a wide receiver.
and
K.
Jacksonville, they
Williams
have
from
Trevor Lawrence.
Washington,
So they're not going to pick a quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, he's
and
you know, oh, yeah, that's not going to happen.
yeah, because he's a long time.
Yeah, maybe New
That's
Orleans.
why
So
he's not going to be reunited with his boy.
no, nope.
Maybe the Saints. Maybe
It
the
was. I think
Saints.
New
We'll
Orleans has.
see.
I think how can the Saints because they have David Carr, right? Who's kind of he's been banged up
Mhm.
last couple of years.
And he's injured.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So maybe New Orleans, which would be interesting because I know Jacksonville's not going to take him unless they take him for somebody else and trade him. Um,
That's
yeah,
just makes no sense. That makes no sense to keep him. They have Trevor Lawrence. That makes no sense.
nope, nope. So we'll
Not
keep an
like it
eye
was
on
in
it.
the old days when you get a rookie and then you won't see him till like the third year.
Right,
They putting
right.
these kids out here now, yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. Well, while we wait for to see the Shadur Sanders saga, I know there's a couple other things we wanted to touch on quickly. Let's real quick talk about the Valkyries. Their season starts next preseason starts next week. 10,000
Yeah,
season tickets sold, most in WNBA history for season tickets. Secondary market off the chain.
it goes to it shows you the power of Angel Reese and the young lady in Indiana.
Caitlin Clark,
You
yeah,
know, yeah,
yeah,
Kaylin. It goes to show you the power of the girl power of that. I think it's great. I think it's right on time for the Bay Area because well, it would be so great if they played in Oakland, but with Oakland losing the Warriors, and then maybe this team now people can afford to who can't
yeah,
afford to see the Warriors can afford to see the Valkyries.
yeah.
And never had a WNBA team in the Bay Area. So it's great to they've been doing a lot of promo, a lot of community work, and they're excited about a lot of people from the Warriors moved over to the Valkyrie side as well.
Now
So
they're going to practice in Oakland, right? I think they're going to practice
at the
in Oakland.
Rakuten, yeah, the
Hmm.
Rakuten Performance Center, which is
Hmm.
the old workout center for the Warriors. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be there. That's going to be the Oakland connection. But this is
Okay.
going to be exciting. The inaugural year, and they had their draft a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and um, you know,
Very
I,
Eurocentric. Very Eurocentric team. They have a lot of European players and players. I think 9 out of the 12 or something like it was some kind of number like that.
hmm
Because the young lady they picked, I'm blanking on my countries over there, but she's from over there, so overseas. I
hmm
think Eastern Europe. So they have an international flavor with the Valkyries, but uh, I
some
don't
big
know.
girls too.
Yeah. Yeah. But so shout out to them for their marketing team, like you said, and the coaching staff and everybody over there because, you know, I don't think I don't think the Sacramento A's have sold 10,000 season tickets. Uh-oh.
First of
Um,
all, yeah, New Orleans is on the clock now. Wait a minute. Did you see the shed? A shed, that they hold their press conferences in. A,
no.
like a shed that you could get from Home Depot, like a real big one. That's what. Lord have mercy.
Wow.
They holding their press conferences in there.
Wow. Well, it's gonna be hot in there a
So
couple
the
months,
the
so they better look
Lions
out.
took what? The Sacramento Heat. What?
In that
They
shed?
gonna be fried pieces of bacon.
Man. So
Man, it's gonna be in
yeah.
trouble when that Heat. Yeah, they did a
Uh
story about that in Sports Illustrated.
hmm.
It's a shed.
Well, I know attendance is way down. They're not selling a lot of
Mhm.
tickets. No fan enthusiasm. I mean, it was the first game or two, but still the A's.
This is a major league team. This is Major League Baseball, and
Yeah.
we're on press conferences in a shed.
Yeah. For the next 3, 4 years. So,
It's a
oh
doggone
well.
shame.
Oh well. Oh
It's
well.
that owner is something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wanted to get out of Oakland so bad.
And
Well, here you
he's
have it.
here we go. You wanna so shifting gears from the Valkyries, you wanna talk about a little bit about Shannon Sharp? What's going on with
If we can talk a little bit about Shannon
bruh,
Sharp, if you can
bruh.
just say, bruh, as the kids say, bruh.
And another one dropped today. Another lawsuit today.
Hold up. Hold up.
Yeah, from
In the words of Nate
2013.
Dogg, hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, another
Wait.
another lady. It was reported dropped a lawsuit again. Either let me pull it up because I want to be accurate.
Well, they gonna be coming out the sky. They're gonna be doing a tiger now.
Yeah,
That's what you get.
uh, yeah, yeah. I
Gonna
heard that,
learn
Chrissy.
today.
I heard that, Chrissy. He is a rap. Yeah, he's yeah.
Oh,
There's
that's
another.
Kathy. That's cousin Kathy.
Oh, what's up, Kathy? Hello.
It
Oh, my
looks
bad.
it looks like Christy.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah, cousin
Uh,
cousin and I were talking about it earlier. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh, I
allegations
tried.
from a yeah. So allegations from 2010
Oh,
outline in a 2023 lawsuit. So there was a 2023
oh
lawsuit, and then
yeah,
there
I
was
did hear about that. I did.
then also they were reporting that a Fox staffer a couple years ago he settled with.
That's not a
It ain't.
good
It's
look.
not looking good, and it's not looking good at all. And I
But
don't know.
see, oh, they didn't take him either. They took a defensive tackle. B.
Wow,
Broughton out of Texas.
wow.
Maybe Denver?
No, they got that young cat from Bo Nix. They got a young rookie
Oh,
killing it
that's
down there.
right.
He went to the
That's right.
playoffs. So you look at it, Chicago's not going to take him because they have the young cat that was balling last year. Maybe okay,
The
maybe
Jets,
the
maybe?
Jets, maybe the Jets,
Ooh, New York could eat him up.
which might be well from a marketing standpoint. Maybe that's the move. Maybe maybe the Jets. Oh no, because the Jets signed the cat they got from Pittsburgh, the young guy, um, who was with Chicago, and then he was battling with Russell
Oh,
Wilson last year. Again, we're getting back in the swing of things. I could pull him up, but so they
yeah,
just brought him over. They paid
Geriatric.
him a boatload of money. He's a young guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, he is a young guy.
Carolina has a young quarterback in place. The
Sure
Niners.
do.
Oh, the Buffalo Bills just traded up. So
Well,
the Bears were on the clock. Buffalo just traded up, so they're going after somebody.
mm,
I don't see Buffalo signing him because they have
no, they
Josh
got
Allen.
Josh. Um,
Um,
Minnesota.
wow.
Who's at Minnesota?
They had the rookie who got hurt last year. They had Sam Darnold, but I think Sam Darnold left. So their young rookie should be back in the mix. Who he got hurt, which opened the door for Sam Darnold last year. Um, but
Who's who, who's with the
I don't
Rams?
Maybe the Rams because they have Matthew Stafford, but then they also have Jimmy G as the backup. So
No, that's
maybe, maybe.
and then the Chargers already they got that French kid,
Oh yeah, yeah. They're set.
Aiden. Let's see. They got Tyler in
Oh, in Arizona,
Arizona.
Houston. They CJ Stroud. They don't need a quarterback. Indy
Who,
maybe. No, Indy. Did they take a
who did
quarterback?
they got?
I think Indy took a quarterback already. So I just it's
Yeah, and the Niners are coming up after
after
Carolina.
Carolina. Hmm.
I mean Denver. Uh, I'm thinking of the map of the United States, and I'm trying to think of different
Yeah,
teams.
maybe Pittsburgh at the 83.
Who Seattle got? Seattle got a young guy
Yeah, they just brought over. Let me pull him up.
because I know they signed somebody.
Yeah,
And
Seattle brought over. I think they're set. Hold on.
uh, yeah, it's up to the Raiders. Need to do something.
Yeah, Pittsburgh might add. Yeah, hello Seattle. Yeah, they got Sam Darnold. They're the ones that signed Sam Darnold. They got
Okay.
rid of Geno Smith and brought in Sam Darnold.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm looking at maybe Pittsburgh at 60, whatever it was. Maybe Pittsburgh at 80. What is that? 83. That's more than likely where he's going to go.
Do you think they'll let him drop so that they can afford him?
It sends a message too. Um,
Well,
it definitely sends a message, but you can't tell me that he's not in the top
he-
80 picks of college
they would
players.
pick me, but at the rate they're going, they'd pick me before him. They
Uh,
pick us.
yep. Something
It's
smells.
personal. It's personal. Maybe there was something on his workout. They saw
It's something we don't know. Like I say, and you and I talk about this all the time. We watch them on the field. We see them play. we're not at practice. You know how it is. It's much
Mhm.
different in practice. We don't
Mhm.
see the development in terms of the coaching and are they getting the play. We don't see all of that. So, uh, but when I am watching it on Saturdays, and I saw how the young man played football, I don't get it. I don't get. Yeah, the
And
Jets didn't take him either. The Jets didn't take him. They
mm-mm.
took a cornerback. So
Yeah.
Carolina's not going to take him. The Niners,
No, they ain't taking it. If they take him, I'll run out this house.
because they just signed Mac Jones. They signed the cast off from New England, who back in the day
Oh,
back in the day as a backup. They signed him as a backup. So that's who everybody thought Shanahan wanted back then when they took Trey Lance. Remember?
ooh, they probably should have taken him over Trey Lance. Poor kid.
Well, he washed out in New England though. So I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
he did too. He
you
did
know, he
too.
he didn't he didn't grab that opportunity. So yeah, Carolina's up now,
So
but
you know
anyway, so we'll
your
talk about.
president tweeted about it.
I
About
saw that.
it's a shame that Shador. Right, you're happy he hasn't been chosen.
Yeah, yeah, I did see that.
Stop
I was
it.
kind of like, that's not good when he's supporting you. Uh-oh.
Thank you.
That's the that
You
is
don't
a
want
different.
that support.
No, not at all, not at all. But anyway, so let's wrap up with real quick with Shannon Sharp.
Danny
He's in
Sharp.
trouble.
We never got to
I
him.
I think he's
Um,
done. I think it's a wrap. And I was thinking, and you tell me how I don't how you would feel. He can't come back on First Take. How can Molly sit there and be on that show with him
no, he's
now?
done. He's done.
That can't. I
Disney
don't. Yeah,
Disney owns ESP 80% of ESPN.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely not. And he ESP ESPN hasn't spoken yet.
No,
Shannon
no.
Sharp is the
They
one
just
that
took him off the air. Well, I'm sure they said, "Look, we're gonna suspend you, or you can go out and say or you can remove yourself." Put
mhm,
my old manager hat back on when I was doing management. People,
mhm,
it's one of those
mhm,
situations where, we can let you go, or you can resign, right? And he probably said they probably gave him that opportunity. Look, we're either gonna suspend you indefinitely, or you can voluntarily choose to step away, which is from a media standpoint is more kind to him, unfortunately, than to say ESPN made him step away, which I'm sure they told him you can't. Like I say, I can't see a situation where putting yourself in Molly Curum's shoes. She can't do a show with that dude. She, you know what I mean? Um, that just doesn't work. It doesn't work, and he got away with it the first time, a couple months. Remember? It's like,
his
man,
but his bread and butter is through his podcast and his Club Shay Shay.
yeah,
So he doesn't need the ESPN check. It's just,
no,
I mean,
no,
I don't mean to
but
trick the man's pockets, but
I think what happens though is it gets to where, and I'm not saying it's because it's a totally different situation, but you get to the point where you're not corporate anymore, like Cosby. Same situation where corporate America says, you know, um, too much smoke here. Cosby obviously, went and was adjudicated and blah 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 blah. But and as
mhm,
of right now, we got to be fair. There's no criminal charges. This is all civil suits, right? So it's not like it's the behavior may or may not have been criminal, because that hasn't happened in a court of law in terms of criminality, but you don't get the benefit of the doubt in public opinion. It is what it is, you know. Uh,
right.
yeah, he's Cat Williams told him, say they're gonna come after you.
Listen, Cat laid it out. And Monique did too. Monique told him to stay away from the younger girls. And someone that I think it might have been Ryan Clark, maybe not. But if you watch and you follow him on his show with Ocho Cinco, he talks about women a lot. He talks about his sexual prowess. Then we got the leak tape of My Michelle, which I found interesting because the lady from 2023, her name is Michelle.
Hmm.
Coincidence. I
Mhm.
don't know. But
And
mhm, go ahead.
it's not funny, but it is. The wildest thing about all of this is one of his major sponsors is that male enhancement pill.
I was about to get to that. I was about to get to that.
What?
It's it, oh, they're gonna stick beside him. But he's always making it seem like he's still got it like that. Like a man who is you're a senior citizen, sir. You're considered you're 56. You're considered
You can get the
senior
discount breakfast at Denny's. Right.
and at Ross on Tuesdays. And at
Exactly.
movies, because I took advantage of mine
I
when I
heard
went to
that.
see Sinners on Monday. Hello. So, so hey, you he's battling it. His brother's married, and but something with Shannon, he's anti a woman can't use number two at his house. He don't use the restroom at women's houses. He don't spend the night at women's houses. He just has these weird. He's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
He's different, and I think it's bigger than what it is. I think that it's a struggle, whatever it is. It's a struggle, and
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, and people are zeroing in on him and want to know about your love life. What do you do? And then he keeps putting it out there. The other night he had a Freudian slip and said, "When I'm with a man," and then he kept talking, and and,
Oh.
and the guys were, and I guess the person in his earpiece said, "You said man," and he didn't freak out. He was like, "Oh, like when I'm a woman," I'm like, "Why are you talking about this?" And then let's back up. It's announced on Easter that he's gonna get 100. He's been offered 100 million, and then like clockwork, the ambulance chaser
Yeah.
comes, Buzzy or Busby, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
the top of the top on Monday. Huh, lawsuit,
Yep.
sexual
Yep.
harassment.
And remember, Tony Busby, it was reported, represented 22 of the 23 women that sued Deshaun Watson. Remember Deshaun Watson went through all of that and settled all those lawsuits? Tony Busby represented about
Yeah,
20 of those ladies. Now, again,
there's a
we
common denominator. He likes
yeah.
to go
Yeah,
after rich men.
yeah, now
Mm.
again, because I'm one of those kind of cats that pays attention to this kind of stuff. Now remember, Tony Busby was the lawyer who represented the gentleman, well, I say it loosely, in Texas, who's a real a-hole, the attorney general in Texas, Ken Paxton, who was being impeached. And Tony Busby with some other folks got him off, and now he's running for Senate against John Cornyn. So Tony Busby is a big time lawyer. When the attorney general of Texas uses you to represent him in an impeachment hearing, you got some pretty, you're a lawyer of I don't want to say stature because I think there is some ambulance chasing, but you're a lawyer with some gravity in terms of being able to
Mhm.
shake people down at a high level. Didn't work against Jay-Z because I think Jay-Z was
Oh, yeah.
bigger than
They
right,
learned how powerful Jay-Z is.
right,
They
right,
learned the
right.
power of the billionaire
Yep.
diabolical. I think that was a shakedown for sure. And
Can he
I
recover?
said new levels bring devils. And so,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, but like I
higher
said, another lawsuit today
today,
came out,
I
and
wish him all the best. I mean, it's just when you start going up them ladders, you got to deal with different type of, what's the secret password? Are you willing to play
right,
the game?
right,
What's
right.
up? And you're messing with an OnlyFans. You messing with a child. You
Yep.
know, there was someone that I dated in my past that said that they would date someone of a certain age, and I was like, that's too young. That's too young to me. I don't like. something's wrong when you like someone. So this is my opinion, because some
Sure.
men don't have a problem with it. But when you start dating somebody under 25 and you in your 50s, I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. And
Yeah,
what are you
it's
talking about? What do
um
you have in common?
well, let's say it like this. It's not unique because that's been going on a long time. I don't understand.
Mhm,
You know, 'cause I've been married, you know me, I've been married a long time. So that's
mhm.
I don't quite know the game anymore, but from what I see, um
Shh.
these men need to start treating these females better. And what I mean by that is you somebody at his stature, you cannot put yourself in that situation. You can't be that reckless, even where there's some sense of mistreating of a woman. You just can't do it. You can't even play like that. I don't think in these
Mhm,
streets anymore. That's just
mm-mm,
me, you know. And I'm, you know, like I said, I've been out the game for a long time, right? But
mhm,
what I
mhm.
will say is,
Come here.
men have to have better judgment and control because it's almost like you've been set up and you allowed yourself to be set up, you know?
When he's talking to her on the phone, we can hear that that's a setup. Just the conversation alone, but because he'd been fooling with her for a minute, he trusted her. He trusted her enough to say, "Next time I see you, Imma effing choke you."
Yeah. Yeah. That's not,
And
that's just not
but
good.
but who are we but who are we to be see, I don't like that. Come here, mama. I don't like that you are bringing people like, we're in people's bedrooms. What it I mean, if he likes that kind of stuff, that's really his business, but if he's hurting people,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a money grab.
And
We
like I
all
said,
know it's
you know,
we
I
all know.
wasn't there. I'm sure there's probably a little bit of truth in both sides. You know, I don't know, but I think
Mhm,
as these things start coming out of the woodworks, it's not a good look. Not necessarily the lawsuit that
mhm.
just came about, the second one, but the settlement at Fox from a few years ago. That one was
Yeah,
kind of like,
and then they just
oh,
right, and they took him off the air for a minute, and nobody
yeah.
even noticed.
So he
But
just got, you know,
he acts so proud and mighty though, like he wouldn't do stuff like that. Like he's so anal that he talks to I brush my teeth 6 times a day or whatever. You would think that he would never get caught slipping.
right.
He portrays that image like, oh, you never catch me slipping. And then as a front, he throws it out there about the type of women he find attractive, but then when you see the people that are filing a lawsuit, they look nothing like the women that he claims that he's attracted to, a la
Yeah.
Nicole Murphy. He very well may be attracted to her, but if you had a chance to date her, would you?
Yeah.
Regina Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, Regina Hall for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, she's
I don't know.
gorgeous.
I just think that these guys, older men, 50s, whatever, by now you should have learned how to be a little bit more selective and a little bit more discreet and maybe not pick your women on OnlyFans. I mean, maybe that's a start. Um, or Instagram. I don't know.
The
Anyway,
power,
we'll see.
power of
He's
popularity.
exactly. Everybody's due their day in court. And so you know, we have to keep that in mind. And again, you know, just to keep it clear, this is not criminal. This is civil. But the behavior is still going to be documented. Now, the smart lawyer, I think, would go to him and go, okay, let's offer 15, see if this goes away.
Right.
You don't admit like the next, that's what the real ones do. They go and say, okay,
Hey, that's what Michael did.
yeah, how much is it gonna cost me to fix this to where I don't admit anything? We sign the NDA. You don't get to write a book. You know, you don't get to tell your story to TMZ anymore,
Hmm.
and I get to go back to ESPN. You know, regardless of what happened. And again, if if what went down any close to what she said went down, then that's terrible. You know, that's
Hmm.
just not. That's awful. That shouldn't
That's
happen
awful. Mm,
to a young lady. That just shouldn't happen. That's not good. And you
mm.
can't spin that and you can't explain that away. But yeah, stay away from the tapes and recordings. And you would think of all people, he would not want to be anywhere near a recording, accidental or
Man,
not.
and big black man chokes little white woman. Dude, did you really say that? Did you really say
Yeah. All right. Well,
you
let's get
from
up
the
out of here
South?
with
You're from the South. Anyway.
to get back to ultimate get back, I guess. I don't know. We'll leave it there. Um Moving on. I haven't seen it, but we wanted to close out. Let's talk about Sinners. You had a chance to see the movie Sinners, and
Mm,
you know, I told
I'm
you I
on the
don't do horror
bandwagon.
films. Yeah, you told me it wasn't necessarily a horror film, so I might have to go check it out. But tell me about it, and
I mean,
what was it that really
gory
affected you?
it's got some gory parts. I mean, I can't really say too much because I don't want to give it away. But Ryan Coogler from Oakland, man, he outdid himself. You think that he can't get any better. Is that Mel? Hey,
That's
Mel,
Mel. Hey, hey, that's wifey.
that's the wifey.
Hello.
Oh, and hello from the other room. But I mean, just that young man is well. He was inspired to do the story uh, from his great uncle, who was from the South, and he would play blues music. And he had been thinking, just missing his uncle. We all have that one aunt or uncle that made an impact on our lives. And as we get older, we start thinking about what they were trying to instill in us and, start missing them and want to honor them in some way or another. So this how this movie was created. And then it has a little bit of, it's got some voodoo slash hoodoo in it. But not as it's gory. It has some gory parts, but it's not. I thought it was gonna be like exorcist kind of stuff because I can't take that. But
No.
it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. And I tell you, when the lights go down in the movie theater, so do my eyelids. And that didn't happen. I was up though. I was up, wide open. The movie was excellent. The music, my lover Raphael Sadiq, he
Ah,
wrote one.
you
He
know he's coming
wrote,
to Oakland, right? You know he's coming to Oakland.
I got my tickets,
You too.
man.
You
Dave
too.
and I are going.
We'll see you there. Me and Mel will be there.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah.
you going the first or second night?
First night, the 7th. Prince's
Oh
birthday.
yeah, them tickets went quick.
Very quick.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute, whose birthday?
Prince's birthday is June 7th.
Sure is. Sure
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure is.
But
And
getting back to Sinners, we got distracted. Raphael Sadiq, who's just amazing.
hmm, yeah. So yeah, so and the young man who's in the movie, and he sings the song that Raphael Sadiq wrote, along with the musical producer of the movie. It's just, and then we love Delroy Lindo. Who doesn't love Delroy Lindo? Also from Oakland. Well, not
Yep.
originally, but yeah, everyone really played their part well. There's an English actress who did a great job on her Southern accent. And then the young lady who's kind of like an octoroon, she did a hell of a job. It's a great, and Michael B. Jordan, he's never done much for me, but in this movie, excellent work. Playing playing twin brothers,
Yeah.
he's playing two, but that had to be hard. And let me say this: I wanted to get out and see it as soon as possible because Ryan Coogler, the director, he did say that you want to see it in IMAX in the first 2 weeks because they're using a special camera. And then after the first 2 weeks, it's not going to be in the theaters anymore.
I
That,
see.
I guess, the one where they use that special camera. But it was just like the richness of it. The lady who's won all the Academy Awards for wardrobe, She was the
Oh yeah,
wardrobe in it. Yeah, she's done all Spike Lee movies and stuff, and
yeah,
Black Panther. She's back. Hey, it's breaking records. It's going to continue to do so. So don't listen to what someone else is saying about the negativity behind it. Go see it for yourself. Judge it for yourself.
yeah. I'll
Most
have
people
to
love it.
have to cover my eyes to certain parts, and then maybe I have to go check it out. Because,
Oh,
like I
I was
told you,
going to say,
we were talking before. Yeah, I just I don't do the horror and I do the zombies and I don't do all that. It's just
yeah,
not my thing. But this one I might have to make an exception for.
it's
Yeah,
really good. Like I said,
for the culture, as they say.
for culture. Like I
Yeah,
said, Draymond had said he was on his show and he said I will definitely go back and see it because I know it's a bunch of things that I missed. It is. It does it shows non-traditional love,
hmm,
different types of love. It's just so many different messages. Very good movie. Really
yeah,
makes you think. It's a great discussion. You go see it with your friends. You guys go out and eat afterwards and discuss it. I know that's what my cousin and I probably do on Sunday. So I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yep, yep. Well, Felicia, we're back. It was good to get caught up, and we gotta get back and continue to talk sports the way we do because we talk sports like nobody else. You know the way we do it.
Right.
Um, so thank you as always for sharing your insights into the Warriors locker room and or at least the Warriors pressers and
Well,
games and things like that
good
and your
luck.
access.
Wish I could go to
and,
the locker room, but
in some kind of way, I got to figure out a way to get that. I like that poster. I'm still salivating over that poster you got back there. That is nice. That is nice. That is
you should
nice.
see
That
me
is
walking. You should see me walking. People were looking at me like, what? The people that were left over at the arena, they're like, girl, what? I'm like, yeah, it's for my office.
nah, it
A
looks cool.
clumsy thing.
Looks cool. Well, enjoy tomorrow night. I know it's gonna be just ridiculous at Chase.
It's gonna
And
be loud. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Warriors big
Yeah.
game. So all right. Well, you ready to get up out of here?
Jimmy will play. Jimmy will play.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. With a pad or something. I think he's gonna have to play. Then
Not
Steph had
with
a
a
pad on.
bag.
Well, Steph wore a pad. I mean, they have those pads that they can wear, Hey.
Booty pad.
Yeah, it's something because I mean, that's sensitive back there. You see the way he fell?
Oh
That's
my word.
yeah,
He went
yeah.
up so high. He
Yep.
went up so high when
Mhm,
I was like, man, they can't catch
mhm,
a break.
mhm.
But
All
yeah,
right.
we'll
We'll
see.
call it we'll keep watching for Shador as of 81. He's still not picked. So,
Who did the Niners pick?
the Niners took a linebacker,
It's not
Nick
showing.
Martin, out of Oklahoma State. So,
Okay, this personal.
it's been
This
heavy defense too. A lot of defensive players
a
lately.
lot.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Oh,
Shador, hang in there, man.
Cincinnati. Forgot about Cincinnati.
Yeah, hang in there, Shador. It'll happen. All
That's
right, Felicia.
right.
Let's
His
get up
delay
out of
is
here
not a denial.
for sure. So, Sports in the Bay, Felicia and Eddrick, we will be back next week ish, as we say, back on the mix, back on this horse. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Christy and Kathy, thank you guys for your support. Mel, love
Thanks,
you. Thanks for your
Mel.
support. All right, Sports in the Bay, Felicia